Hello, my name is Sapphire Kerner, and this is my Q&Q number 7. Today I'll be talking about Black Lenses, Black Voices, Chapter 2, Black Families and Films in the 90s. Um, and so I'd like to first talk about a quote from in the director, the female director of Eve's Bayou, and her quote is she's talking about her process of making it and being a Black female director. Um, and how she wanted to tell a specific story in the movie Eve's Bayou, and she kept getting this question from people, especially white people and producers, and they would say, I mean, even if it were negative white characters, just any white character, and they kept asking her, like, they would be, they would say, can't there be a racist? And I would just say, this is Eve's Bayou. In the same interview, Lemons considered the importance of contracting a known star to attract the Hollywood studio funding, but this was not a guarantee of the studio's total commitment to the project. So she talks about how, and before this, a little bit earlier, where like the white racist, or a racist white is an omnipresent and all-powerful villain in the Hollywood conventional Southern imagery. So I thought that this was very interesting. Um, that they asked her to even like though like it would be a negative idea to have like this white racist in this movie that's centering around blackness, um and how they believe that that was necessary. And I think that that's kind of inherently problematic because they wanted a white person to represent the like have a white lens inside of this movie that had nothing to do with whiteness, just so they felt like they could connect to it, even if it was a negative like role model or a negative representation. um Another interesting quote that I thought, and also the idea that she had to hire like someone who was a well-known actor for them to be interested in this project. um so then here is another quote talking about the same movie, and talking about how she's treated, or she was treated, as like a black woman and as a director. Um, and it says, I remember one time I was trying to sell Eve's Bayou, and I wanted to talk to, and I was talking to this executive. At a certain point, he said that there was a part of the script he didn't get. I did not suck my teeth or anything like that, but I did sit back and cross my arms. I got in a lecture afterwards. I was told to never sit back and cross my arms because now these people would think that you're a bitch. I thought that that was really telling about how the movie industry treats women of color who are trying to direct or be in positions of power, that like she is someone who has created this piece of work and is coming to you and selling it to you, and she's not even allowed to express displeasure about your lack of understanding this experience, because of course you would understand this experience if you're a white executive. um and she's not allowed to show displeasure at him questioning her and her experience, and instantly they're like, oh, you can't do that or you'll be considered a bitch. And I thought that that was really like telling and very problematic, um in a really bad way of dealing with the problem, and the fact that she has to change herself, not that the executive or the system that is made like this has to change itself. And I thought that like it connects really well to Lauren Hansberry, and when she created the movie and she wrote the script for Raising the Sun. And Raising the Sun did have a racist white character, but he was there like for a reason, and it was a necessity, and that was for that certain story. That doesn't mean that every story has to have a racist white character that involves black people. um but I thought that was really interesting because Lorraine Hansberry talks about how when she was writing the script for Raising the Sun, she would submit like multiple scripts, and then they would keep cutting it down and be like, that's too liberal, that's too progressive, that's too much. And how I'm sure that they were like, oh, we have to keep her involved, but like her treatment as a director and as a creator of this amazing work that's obviously extremely successful, but they still did not treat her correctly, and they did not respect her opinion, and they were still very much trying to control the work that she was creating. So I think that that is really interesting, and it kind of ties into, and earlier in the chapter it talks about like all these different other movies that have to do with race and class, and um specifically it has a conversation early in the chapter um about a book. I think it's called The Inkwell. um and it's talking about like different types of class and like different types of political opinions, and how like it's about like one this lower class people going and visiting relatives who have more money. And it reminded me of shows like from the 90s, like Fresh Prince of Bel Air and stuff like that, where you see this kind of class clash of like conservatism and wealthier blacks and liberalism and poorer blacks, and that kind of idea of like the black experience not being the same thing. And all of these movies showing different sides of the black experience and different generations and how that affects it. And so for my overall reaching question for this, um, week and this Q and Q would basically be, how does our social climate affect how we treat like black creators, that could be like directors, executives, black work, and how there still was a need in the 90s when she was making Eve's Bayou, like the need to have a white presence, because they're like, oh, it won't sell if white people can't find a way to relate to it, even if it's a negative way. Like, how does our now has it changed our treatment of black art and black creators changed as it affects the way that we treat black people in our society? Thank you.